Okay, guys, long time no see. This is my prediction for UFC 124, GSP versus Koscheck. Let's get straight to it, guys. Okay, we got Joe Stephenson versus Mac Danzig. Both of these guys are coming off of, both of these guys are turf guys. But both of these guys have lost more than they've won. You know, most of these guys both of these guys are really need this win. I see Stephenson coming in here and grinding out a win, either a split decision or a unanimous decision, but beating him by points because he's a more well-rounded fighter. He has more experience. But between both of these guys, and since the whole merger between WEC and UFC, there's a lot more avenues these guys can take. And I think that one of these guys is going to be forced to go down to featherweight if they lose, because both of these guys, to keep their job, because these guys are losing in the lightweight division. So whoever loses this fight, I predict that they're going to move down they're going to have to move down to the featherweight. But I do think that Stephenson is going to grind this out for the win. So we have next Alvis versus Howard. Now, this is an exciting fight. This is going to be a fight of the night, knockout of the night, one of the two. This is going to be an excellent fight because these guys are going to go in there and they're going to bang. They're going to go out and put it all balls to the wall. But with that being said, Alvis coming off of his 2 losses to only GSP and Finch. Both of these guys are takedown artists, and they'll get you on the ground and pretty much grind you out there and hold you there. He won't have to worry about that with Howard. Howard will, even if Howard even tries to take him down, I think he will pretty much stuff a lot of his takedowns. Even though Howard says that he's not going to take him down, when you get into trouble, most guys will go to try to take you down to regain their focus and strength and whatnot. With Alvis being, I have to say probably number 3 in the welterweight division, I don't see Howard going in there and outstriking Alvis. I think that he's going to, he's going to try to strike with Alvis, but Alvis is a cut above Howard when it comes to striking. He's going to use his knees. He's going to use that Muay Thai style, and he's just going to, outstrike him. Now, don't get me wrong, Howard can go in there and land one bomb and knock Alvis out. Don't get me wrong, but do I think that's going to happen? No. I think Alvis is going to go in there and outstrike him and keep him at bay and pretty much try to finish him off in the second round. But one thing's for sure is you don't have to worry about this fight going the long distance. Get ready for somebody to go to sleep. So let's move on. Then we have Struve versus Sean McCorkle. McCorkle I think he's 10-0, and 9 of those being, I think 9 of those being knockouts, him actually finishing people. But I don't think he's ready for a guy like Struve. Struve has that long reach advantage. He has great striking skills, boxing skills. He has great jiu-jitsu skills with those long legs and arms. I just don't think that he's ready for someone like he thinks he is. I think from seeing like his little videos and his Twitter and all this other stuff he's been doing, talking crap, he says he's going to go in there and knock him out in the first round. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I think he's going to get in there and get jabbed to death with with reach and pretty much get taken down on the ground and get submitted. So in the second round. So I think this is going to happen. I think he's going to go in there and get submitted in the second round. But you can't. Struve is no joke. I mean, the guy is. I think he has like 20 wins, with 4 of them being in the UFC. So the guy is really no joke. He's a good fighter. So then we have Jim Miller versus Oliveira. Oliveira, don't get me wrong, this guy too is an excellent fighter. He's a very up-and-comer guy. He's going to come up. I think he's going to do great things in this division, but I don't think that he's ready for a Miller. Miller, I think, is 8-2. Oliveira, I think he's 14-0 right now. I just don't think he's ready for a guy of Miller's caliber, and I think Miller's going to go in there and grind it out and pretty much win by decision and by unanimous decision, and just by outpointing them. But that doesn't mean bad things are to come for Oliveira. I think that he's just outmatched in this one. Now we have the big one, which is GSP versus Koscheck. Koscheck this is a typical good guy versus bad guy. Koscheck being a dick on turf and all that other stuff, which he's an interesting guy. He hypes his fights up. He really does. But from seeing all the little countdown, the UFC countdown, UFC 124 countdown. Sorry guys. Looks like he's been asshole for his whole life. Now no friends really, and all this other stuff they hyped him up to be. But the thing is that with GSP, with his work ethic and how hard he works, these guys are going to go, I was a different fighter back then. When he beat me, I was a different fighter. But the problem is back then, when you were back there, and you fought that GSP, the GSP now is several leaps ahead of that GSP that you fought. And where you lost to GSP, you may have beat GSP back when you fought that GSP. Your current self could now just compete with that GSP at that time. But I know it's confusing, but the GSP that was back there is no longer there. He's leaps above that. So the gap in between these guys is going to be prevalent. I'm telling you, GSP is a workhorse. This guy is like not human as far as his work ethic, and 8 hours a day just grinding it out every day. This guy wrestling, boxing, traveling. This guy is just and so like Koscheck has said, yeah, GSP is going to take me down. He's probably going to get me. He's going to double leg me. But is he going to be able to hold? But I'm going to get right back up. I don't believe. Yeah, you think you're going to get back up, but you're not. He's going to grind on you all day, hold you down, elbow you, and then he's going to try to submit you. I don't think he's going to go in there and bang with Koscheck, because that'd be stupid. He's going to get him on his back. He's going to put his shoulder into his chest. He's going to grind on him. He's going to, try to get him in a Kimura, an arm bar, get his back, choke him out. He's going to do something on the ground. But he's not, and I repeat, not going to, try to stand up and fight with Koscheck, because I believe he would get knocked out then. Koscheck's hands are too heavy. The guy's boxing is pretty good, for an MMA fighter. It really is. So, Koscheck, don't get me wrong, Koscheck can go in there and land a hit right on, GSP's chin and knock him out. But we all know that GSP is going to take it to where it's his advantage, which is on the ground, which is kind of crazy because Koscheck is a wrestler, but it's a different type of caliber wrestler. Koscheck really hasn't been really working on his wrestling. I think his last fight he had with Daly, he worked on his wrestling, but that's because he used his wrestling, but that's only because the other guy was a harder hitter than him, and he didn't want to get hit. So he didn't do that against Daly, but he did it against other guys who weren't so strong in wrestling. So he really doesn't want to go head-to-head with the wrestler. He wants to really go head-to-head with a person who's a striker, and he's a wrestler and a striker. So he goes against their weak point, which everybody should do. If you're in competition, you go against the guy who you go against their weak points, not their strengths. So anyway, Koscheck loses. I'm gonna go decision. I'm gonna go. GSP is gonna win by decision. He's gonna grind it out and win by unanimous decision. So those are my predictions for UFC 124. Let me guys know what you guys think. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time on the review of UFC 124. Peace.